you've got to be a world-class violinist.
Problem is with you need to be in a group. You need to singer.
When you're moving around, still trying to play, you end up doing what you did, and that's missing words and notes.
I don't think what you're doing right now.
There were times when it sounded to me like a bunch of rats being strangled. That bad.
It's not to fill a theatre.
So you're one problem.
You're not good enough, good enough, good enough.
You know, I think that if we could see our full potential of what we could actually become, we would be absolutely astounded. And I just want to remind you that just because no one else sees the potential in you doesn't mean it's not there. And here's the thing about potential though, is if you are really going for it and really chasing after your dreams, there will be seasons of time when you aren't good enough yet to do the things that you want to do. But never forget to add that most important word, yet. Once upon a time, we all tried to take our very first step, and our little legs crumpled underneath us because we couldn't handle the weight of our own bodies. But we got there. Do not give up on yourself when you are in the process of becoming who you were meant to be. It's not that you're not enough, you're just not there yet. I can just feel your energy. It's amazing. So thank you so much. And oh my gosh, you brought with you like the most perfect, beautiful night of the summer, I dare say. So thank you so much, you guys, for coming out, for being here. You know, that last number is one of my favorite to perform because I love the fans. They make me feel very like Beyonce. But funny story about that, when I had this idea, I was talking to my production coordinator and I was talking through all the ideas of the show that I was so excited about. And when I told him about this song, you know, I was like, I want like 20 fans on stage, several just standing there around me and each of the dancers. And he was very confused and he kept telling me why this was a bad idea and why it wouldn't work. And I was like, no, it would totally work. Like you put them on wheels and you roll them out and then you roll them off. And anyways, after about a 10-minute conversation of this back and forth, I realized he thought I was talking about people. Thought I wanted to roll on 20 to 30 fans and have them just, I was like, yeah, just standing there. I mean, maybe we'll try his idea next tour. What do you think? Got any volunteers? You say that now. I think you would feel pretty awkward just standing there. I'm just gonna throw that out there, but I appreciate the willingness, the support. I feel it. Also, real quick, I just want to say a huge thank you because just by being here tonight, you guys have helped families in medical debt because $1 from every single ticket sold across the entire tour goes towards my charity, the Upside Fund, and we have eliminated medical debt over the last few years. Also, if you buy any of the merch from me, 10% goes to the same cause, as well as if you're going on the cruise with us next year. 100% of the cruise goes towards helping families in medical crisis. And I just want to say, I have been blown away by the generosity of this community, and over the last few years, drum roll please, we have eliminated $15 million of medical debt. Thank you for your generosity. It's something that is so near and dear to my heart, and you guys have changed families' lives. Now, with no further ado, please give it up for my bandmates. We've got Drew Speed on the drums. And on keys and guitar, Larry Romero. Okay, Ohio, everybody up. Stand up, you'll have more fun, trust me.
The philosopher Epictetus once said, "The more we value the things outside our control, the less control we have." The idea that we have control at all is a maddening yet tantalizing illusion. We have no control over the passage of time, the heat of the sun, or the actions of others. Our bodies are made up of cells that we didn't choose, and not even our thoughts are completely our own, often influenced more by outside factors than true consciousness. With so much of life out of our command, there is a freedom that comes when we surrender. When we give up the things that don't serve us, we open space for more of what does. We can give up guilt, judgment, and fear, replacing it with hope, acceptance, and faith. A far cry from giving up, surrendering allows us to give in. Give in to the work of dreaming without trying to force the outcome. Let go of the worry, not the dream. And when we aren't relying solely on our own resources, we can tap into the thought that maybe magic is possible. Maybe miracles do happen. Perhaps there is a higher power at work. There is a space between working towards something and letting it come to you. There is a gap between wanting an outcome and knowing you don't need it. That is where we take control, by giving it up. That is where we find the magic. Some people call it God. Others call it karma or fate. But whatever name you give it, trust that you are part of the fabric of this universe. And what you are seeking is also seeking you.
Send you? You know, when I was planning the show, one of the very first things that I knew I wanted to do was I wanted to put those last two songs back to back. Because I really wanted to, like, in the previous song, overwhelm you so that you didn't know where to look. There's too many things happening, everything's suddenly red. And then in this last song, I very quickly wanted to just, like, calm you down. And, you know, I do think we live in a very overstimulating world where our senses are all constantly being hit by different information and we're trying to process so much. And, you know, it really is no wonder that so many of us struggle with anxiety to some degree or another. And that's why I have found that in my life, I have to purposefully make time to be still in order to counteract all the crazy things that we have to deal with and all the ways that our minds are split. And, you know, several years ago, my anxiety got out of control, kind of out of nowhere, and I didn't know what was happening, but it was affecting my personal life and many of the things that I decided I would no longer do because I was just too anxious and too stressed about so many things. And it also really, really affected me as a performer. During that time, I actually went on tour. And I remember every night as I would walk onto the stage, I would step onto the stage with so much fear. And it was this fear that I wasn't going to be enough and the fear that I was going to disappoint everyone. Right? The interesting thing though is that no matter how loud the audience cheered, no matter how many smiles I saw, it didn't matter because when I would leave the stage, almost every night I was so sure that I was not enough, and I was so sure that I had disappointed everybody. And that was the story that my mind had decided was true. And that is what anxiety had done to me. And, you know, one day I was actually talking to my therapist while I was on tour. It was before a show. And she asked me, she's like, is this your dream that you're living? And I was like, yes. Absolutely, like I've always wanted to perform and entertain people. And she replied, well, it's too bad you're missing it. But very true, I hate it when they're so right. And I really was. My anxiety was making it so that I was missing out on the, you know, the front seat of my dream. And so anyways, during this time, a really close friend of mine was watching what was happening to me. And one day she gifted me a breathwork session. And I tell you, I did it because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. So I was like, thank you. But I tell you, that night, I slept through the whole night for the first time in months. And I thought to myself, there's something to this. And so I have actually been doing breath work almost every day for the last 3 years. And it has been game-changing for my life and for my anxiety and helping me have tools to basically learn how to reset my mind and my body chemically to allow me, honestly, to not miss my life anymore. And so tonight I want to just teach you some very simple breaths. And these are breaths that you can do anytime if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, anxious, nervous, panicky, or anything. It's an instant way to reset your body. So the first breath is so simple, but it's pretty much just deep breathing, which we do not do enough. Most of us are shallow breathers. So you're going to breathe in your nose and out your mouth, and you're going to breathe deeply into your stomach so that when you breathe in, your stomach inflates like a balloon. So, and out. So everybody in your nose, out the mouth. One more time, in, out. So that's the first breath, so simple. The second one is almost just as simple, and this is one of my favorite ones to do if I ever just need a quick reset. It's 3 sips in through your nose and then 1 exhale. Again, breathing deeply to your stomach. So, everybody? Okay, so in this next song, I'm gonna actually invite you to close your eyes through the whole song. I promise I won't be doing anything up here. I won't be doing any high kicks, no spins, nothing. You're not gonna miss a thing. So you're gonna, if you want to participate, close your eyes, and there will be a voice that's gonna guide you to breathe in and out. And sometimes the voice will stop. Please keep breathing. And at the end of the song, you'll be invited to just keep your eyes closed and just kind of be present. Just feel the music, feel your own body, just feel. Allow yourself to keep your eyes closed though. And I really encourage you to do this because guess what? Every night I make really awkward eye contact with at least 1 or 2 people. So enjoy! This is for you. Breathe. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. cage. Or maybe I am the cage. When people look at me, they see my representative, an imposter that I created. It's hard to see where she ends and I begin. I am somewhere on the inside, where I hide safely behind her smiling eyes. But she is not my protector. She's my prison. When I attempt to break free, I see a crack in her shell, but I feel that crack run through my core as well. And I am afraid. What if she is me and I am her? If we shatter, will there be anything left of me?
style of Japanese art where pottery is broken and then carefully reassembled using gold to secure the fragments back together. Once it is webbed with gold, the mended pottery is stronger and more valuable than ever. What was once a generic vase is now a beautiful work of art. This brings attention to the question, can one be both broken and whole at the same time? Perhaps it's the intentional mending process that actually makes us more whole than we've ever been. Kintsugi can only take place after something has been shattered.
In her book, Untamed, Glennon Doyle recounts an experience she had watching a cheetah at the zoo during feeding time. This daily routine consisted of a stake being attached to a mechanical bunny, which then zoomed in circles through the encampment. As Glennon watched the cheetah awkwardly trot after the bunny to catch its meal, she thought, does this cheetah have any idea that she is the fastest animal on the planet? Does she know that she could gracefully take down a full antelope while sprinting at 70 miles per hour? The answer was no. The cheetah didn't know any better because she was born in a cage. A cage where trotting after a fake rabbit was the extent of the potential she knew. We too are born into our own version of a cage. For instance, most young girls understand the narrow expectations to be pretty and boys the expectation to be strong before they even know how to read or write. Society tames all of us, tethering down our expansive capabilities with cord after cord of meaningless standards. We're told how to dress, how loud we should be, what career paths are acceptable, and what unnatural shape our bodies should be molded into. But we were never meant to be held in boxes. Each of us has a wild, untamed inner self that is passionate, confident, deeply beautiful, free, and shockingly intuitive. Yet we walk through life as paupers, begging for acceptance when we are actually filled with inner gold. As the world tries to cage you at every opportunity, look through the bars, stare into your own soul, and remind yourself that you are a cheetah.
so much for all the love. I can feel it from all of you. Thank you for being here, for taking time out of your busy lives to spend an evening with us, and making it possible for us all to live our dreams and do what we love. Also, please, you guys, give a big round of applause for both Naya and Walk Off the Earth for kicking off the show tonight. To be able to tour with such amazing groups and people and individuals, and to build something that feels like family up here. Something that I have thought about in the last few years quite a bit is the fact that I really do believe we live in between two parallel realities that are always existing, and it's truly up to us to figure out where we draw our energy from, where we fuel ourselves, because at any time we have the choice to feel love or jealousy. We can feel gratitude, or we can focus on the lack in our lives. We can be optimistic, or we can be pessimistic. And the truth is, there's always a very good reason to feel either side of these emotions. There's always evidence that we're valid in feeling jealousy or love, or optimism or pessimism. But our happiness, I really do think, relies on where we turn and what side we decide to focus on. And, sadly, I do think that the negative voices can be so loud. They're so in our face. Like, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of hate in this world that is just constantly berating everyone. And even if it's not as loud, though, I do think that the love, gratitude, positivity, I think that if we choose it and if we search for it, it may be more quiet, but it is far more powerful, and it has the ability to change us and to always be the winner of our emotions if we look for it. And I noticed this years ago when I actually, for the first time, went to therapy, and I became aware of the inner dialogue in my head. And I was shocked at the very cruel things I would say to myself constantly. And I remember my first approach was like, well, I'm just not going to say those nasty things to myself anymore, and then I'll be fine. But that didn't really work. No matter how hard I tried, I could not stop that constant negative voice. And so I tried a different approach, and I started to try to just add positivity. I started a gratitude journal, and I write in it every night. I began every day by looking in the mirror and saying kind things to myself, even if I didn't believe them. But after a while, the kindness, the love, the gratitude, it became so much a part of me that negative voice just started to go away, because there was less and less room in my mind for it to take hold of me. And I think one of my favorite examples of this concept of goodness winning is the difference between light and dark. Because darkness is always present, and you cannot take darkness out of a dark room. It's scientifically impossible. However, you can add light. And the darkness has to move out of the way. The light will always win, just like gratitude and love. And so I'd love to invite all of you to turn on your lights, put them up in the air, and let's make this a beautiful starry night sky. Woo! Lumos! before we go into this, so last fall, my album deadline had arrived, and my album was done. I was actually about to turn it in when I found out some things about my 3-year relationship. There had been some secrets. There had been even more lies. And to tell you the truth, I was absolutely devastated and heartbroken. But I had enough time to write one more song. And literally, I had one shot. My managers were like, your album is due, so you got one shot, good luck. So I thought to myself, okay, I could write the way I feel right now, which was heartbroken, devastated. I was in that depressed state where you can't get out of bed in the morning. Like, that's where I was at. So I was like, well, I could write that song and perform that for the next 2 years. Or, underneath all of those really heavy, very apparent emotions, there were some truths that deep, deep down I knew. And that was that I was better off without this guy if he was going to treat me like that. And during this time, when friends would call to check on me and they would say, how are you doing? My answer was very honestly, I'm not okay, but I know I will be. We are so resilient, our hearts are strong, and no matter what we go through, we will always eventually be all right. And that was a huge learning process for me, and it's become a bit of a mantra, where if I am ever having a really hard day, whether it's a bad mental health day or a bad situation that I'm in, I can look myself in the mirror and say, okay, maybe I'm not all right now, but I know I will be. And whether that's maybe tomorrow or in a week or in a year, we will all always be okay. And I'm very happy to report that now I am more than all right. I am thriving, and I am so glad that that man is in my past. So we've all had people hurt us before. We've all been mistreated. But I just want to remind you that whether it's a bully at school, whether an ex, or whether it's a lover, if someone mistreats you, that says nothing about your value and who you are, and it says everything about them. So you are so much bigger than somebody else's actions. And so they may get to write a piece of the story that you're currently in, but you always get to write the ending of your story. Now, to help me perform this tonight, please welcome back to the stage, Sarah from Walk On!